Anthony Hartwig here, and it is basketball season right around the corner, and we have a lot of season previews to get to. But we are going to start in Poland on the girls' side with Nick Blanch, the head coach once again of the girls' basketball program. Nick, welcome back. Thanks for coming on and talking to us again for another year.
Thanks for having me. I always enjoy getting with you, Anthony, and talking hoops.
All right, before we start talking about all the things in store for this year in Poland, want to start with a kind of a recap of last year and some of the things that you think this team learned, you learned about yourself as a coach, maybe, and some of the lessons that you hope that the returning players can bring from last year's experience.
Uh, you learn something new every year. I mean, last year, we fell short of district play. So we want to hopefully be hungry to get back into districts. We lost to Pie Valley, had a good team, and just slipped away at the very end at the buzzer and just didn't fall our way last year. That happens. You coach long enough, you'll be on the good side of that, and sometimes doesn't go your way. And unfortunately, that was the case last year. But this year's a new year. It's a new puzzle, and we start putting pieces together.
Yeah, it is a new puzzle, and one of the things I want to talk about that puzzle are some of the pieces that are going to fit into it. Let's go over your roster, some of the big returning players, and also maybe some new faces that we might see on the floor this year.
Okay. Well, it starts up top with our seniors. We got three great seniors this year. We have Sophia Generalovic, Kate Harrell, Lucy Harrell. Our junior class consists of Leanna Bocherry, Lauren Koss, Lily McDonald, and Eliana Thompson. We have two sophomores. We have Cassie Blanch, my daughter, and we have Isabel Greco. Izzy Greco is what she goes by. And freshmen, we've got five of them this year. We've got Aurelia Cook, Kennedy Hassey, Ava Staby, Ella Matthew, and Allie Nye. And that rounds out our roster. Those girls will be in the action throughout the season, and excited to see them grow and develop on the court.
Coach, when we talk about first year seniors, and I want to talk first about Sofia Generalovic because we had a chance to talk to her this year during the soccer season for a player profile, and she talked about how during that year she really got to step up a little bit more as a leader on the soccer team. She was a captain, led them to the regional finals. What kind of things do you see from a girl like that who gets her leadership muscles flexed a little bit in the season before coming into your season? Now you're going to ask a lot of her as a senior leader as well.
She's a competitor. She knows it's more than just about her. It's very hard to preach team these days because it's just there's always so many that are just concerned about themselves or their stats or their playing time. Sophia is one of those kids that gets it. She understands the importance of practice, preparation, and what it means to be a leader. She's led by example on the soccer field for years. It was great having her back last year. She stepped right back in, worked the rust off, but she was a leader throughout, and the girls look up to her. And like I said, people like that are very hard to find anymore, and we're lucky to have her in our program back in here. And like I said, no pressure on her or anybody else, but if you have kids like that with a positive attitude and a solid work ethic, it's going to show the right example for the kids underneath to model themselves after.
That girls' soccer season just ended on Saturday, so you're going to just now start to get some of the players that were on that team into your court. So what's it like to start to really feel like you have the whole squad now when you start to go into practice and feel like everyone's there and you can really start to work with all the puzzle pieces that you're going to have for the season?
Yeah, they had a tremendous soccer season. A lot of people would make comments to me like, I bet you can't wait to get them back. I'm excited to get them back, but I really don't mind when they're gone either because I want them to learn that winning culture and take that winning attitude that they've had and all the success they've had there to get to the regional final and bring that with them to basketball and know what it takes and the leadership and the dedication it takes to get that far. Bring all that to basketball with you. And right now, the other girls that were in the program that did not play on that soccer team, we've been able to get them a lot of individual attention and bring them further than they would have been if everyone had been there because it's hard to get to everybody. So the smaller setting, smaller set up to start, we ended up making the most of it. And now we're going to be excited to have those girls back probably by Wednesday and then get the full season underway.
When I hear the names that you list off on your junior class, I hear a lot of leaders that have been on the varsity floor for quite some time. Even though they're not seniors, they're going to be leaders on the floor. What kind of advantage is it to have a leader like as a junior that okay, they're gonna have this year, but they also are gonna have next year to be leaders on this team, and you kind of get those core leaders for 2 straight years in their upperclassmen seasons.
Yeah, we got four great juniors, who I mentioned earlier, led by Eliana Thompson. Eliana Thompson had to grow up real fast last year with Mary Brandt going down. So it was the old baptism by fire phrase that I like to use, because it was like there was no time to develop. It was just, all right, you're up, let's go. And she did a really good job. Leanna Bocheri, Lily, she does a great job for us. She's been really working hard this preseason so far. She came to everything in the off season, and I think she's really hungry to have a much bigger role in the year ahead. And like I said, Eliana, it all starts and stops with her as far as the junior class goes. They'll all see what she does, her leadership, her athletic ability, and her just desire to be great. And they'll have a great leader to look at. Also, one of our captains as well this year, voted on by the players. So it shows you the respect she has in the program as well, to be selected by her teammates to be a leader for the program.
Let's now transition into talking about your schedule. We'll start with the conference as we always do. NE8, you guys are returning as champions again. What's it like what do you see out of the league this year, and what's it like to once again have that target on your back?
Well, the league is going to be extremely competitive, and we've got some new faces in the league. Struthers has a new coach with Hallie, and you've got a new coach over at Lakeview. So, I mean, like, you're going to see new systems there, and there's always a desire. I don't care what anybody's record is. Whenever they play us, they're always excited to be that person or that team to knock us off. So we're always going to get everybody's best shot. And last year, like I said, we won the league last year, but I've said this openly. I really don't feel we were the best team in the league last year. We just had some chips fall our way, and part of it is luck, and part of it's just working hard to get those breaks. And we continued to work hard despite the adversity we dealt with throughout the season, and just had some breaks fall our way. And we've just got to continue to stay hungry. But I really expect a competitive schedule again this year. I think obviously Girard is going to be extremely talented and tough. They're doing a great job over there, Coach Bornemus and his staff. Coach Fischel, he's going to always have his kids ready. Struthers, I think, is going to be very scrappy and get after it again this year. KK is going to be back for them, Caitlin Kimball. So I expect her, Croyle and the Martin girl and whatnot to be very good and very advanced from last season. So like I said, it's going to be all the way around. Coach Manzo at Hubbard always has his kids ready to go. Coach Bola at Niles always has those kids ready to roll. So I'm curious to see the new coaches in action and see what kind of systems they have in place. But we never take anything for granted, and we're just going to do the best we can and see where the chips fall.
Now let's also talk about the teams that you'll face in the non-conference and how excited you are to kind of test yourself. That's always what the non-conference schedule is about, getting yourselves ready for tournament as best you can. What teams pop up this year in non-conference schedule?
Well, right out of the gate, we have Cheney, led by Alyssa Brown. They've been doing a tremendous job over there, improving every year. I mean, last year they had a very solid season. Alyssa, I think, is one of the better players in the area. She had 31 against us last year, played them in the first game of the season. We were lucky to squeak one out there, but she's tremendous. Champion is always obviously well coached. They have a new staff over there this year, so we'll see what they bring, but I expect them to be a very tough competitor for us. Canfield, we have them third game of the year this year. Coach Rio, Coach Pavlansky, they'll have them ready to go. We play East, Springfield. Springfield, led by the Brungard girl. I mean, she's going to be tough, and they're always well coached. We're going to Badger this year. That's a new one with Coach Carney. They reached out and wanted to play us, and so we took that on. Brookfield has a new coach. That's another non-conference that we had, so we'll be interested to see what they have and they bring to the table. We're going to Salem, another new coach. So we'll see what they have, but I know they're going to be very, very talented. I mean, last year, very good game at their place. They pulled away from us in the second half. What else? We have Marlington. That's a new one. We're going to Marlington. They're always very well coached, very good program. So we'll be on the road to see them. and then Columbiana. We're going to Columbia, or the Columbiana's coming to us this year. That was a game that went down to the buzzer last year. Very good program. They've got everybody coming back, so I think they're going to be a very tough opponent, and we scheduled them at the end of the year going into tournament play, so it'll be a good tune-up for both teams, hopefully. But that rounds out our non-conference, and I feel it's going to be very competitive and challenging as the year goes on, and I'm excited to see what we do.
When I hear your non-conference schedule, one of the things that I think Poland fans will start to hear are some new faces that they haven't seen in a while, probably because, and I'm guessing because you want to play a little bit more of the teams that you might face in districts and you might face in the tournament, your division. What's it like to now see a lot more teams that are kind of on that level compared to the last couple of years where you were still playing teams that you might play a couple of years ago when you were Division 3, Division 4 that you would see in districts then? Now you're starting to see a little bit more smaller schools, a little bit more of the teams that you'll see in your new bracket now.
Yeah, that's a big thing. That's one of the things we had to discuss with our schedule, because we always played up, and then we saw a lot of these schools in tournament, and then now we're Division 5, which people aren't used to that because we've been Division 2 for a long time. Then we went to 3, and now we're 5, and we're just becoming a smaller school district right now. It's just the way the cycle goes. And we need to do a better job seeing a lot of these schools, because then we get to tournament play and it's like we don't know very much about any of these schools because we don't play any of these schools during the regular season. So we wanted to change it up a little bit and now play some teams that are around our size, and also they play some of the teams that we're going to see in tournaments, so I can get a little bit more inside scoop, obviously, from some of the coaches that we play, and help each other out a little bit more than we've been able to do in the past, because I honestly didn't know very much about any of them until I had to get film come tournament time and start learning. So we've been revamping things to fit us as a D5 school, and I feel very good about what we've done.
Normally, we would never talk about tournament time this early, but because there's everything expanding in basketball with more divisions, just like every other sport, not named football this year, expanding a little bit, I want to talk a little bit just what you think about that, and what do you think it'll help, or what do you think it'll help Poland as far as when it comes to playing in a new division with a little bit more of an even playing ground as far as school size? What do you think about the expansion of divisions in basketball?
Yeah, it's never easy. It doesn't matter what division you're in. Like last year, I mean, we went to Pymatuning Valley and got knocked off, and a lot of people were surprised by that. And it's just where we're at right now. We're a smaller school, and like I've even said, like if you look at our roster, we don't have anybody who specializes in basketball. I always say we have a bunch of athletes that focus on other sports and they play basketball during the winter. So we do the best we can with it, and we've had a lot of success, but it's not easy by any means. You can put us in any division, and it's still going to be a struggle. It's a lot of work, and that's why it's just, if you really don't want to put the time in, it's not going to be for you. And that's the case every year. There's always people that realize that I don't want to do all this, and that's okay, because it's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of time for the coaches, and we have those high expectations, and we're going to put those out on the players as well. And we need to know what we need to do to be successful. And if you really don't want to be there, then it's better off you go your way, and it's addition by subtraction. And we'll make the most of whatever we have left standing in the locker room when the season begins. And like I said, going forward, no matter where we're at, it's going to be an uphill climb. And I really am excited with what we have in the locker room this year, kids that want to be there. And I'm going to I've seen a lot of growth already, and I know what I'm going to see as the season goes on. Despite wins and losses, I know I'm going to have kids that are giving me everything and giving their teammates everything they can possibly give. So I'm excited for that.
Coach, we would never let these season previews go without giving the coaches the chance to talk about their staff, because we know that the head coaches don't do it alone. You might get the interviews and maybe the limelight, but you have a great staff behind you always. Let's talk about your coaching staff, who you have with you this year, and who's going to be help making this Poland program as great as it is.
Okay, well, it starts with my JV coach, John Dubeck. He's back with me again. He's done a tremendous job. It's been fun watching him grow as a coach as well. He's been working hard, and I expect to have a little bit more things put on his plate this year, and he's stepped up so far and done a great job. Al Masai, tremendous person. It's actually his birthday coming up November 7th, so give him a shout out there. But he's a great person to have. Kids love him. Biggest heart you could ask for, and goes to everything he can to support the kids in the fall and in the spring. And just one of those good program people, and knows the game and does a good job with the girls. We have Brooke Rowe, former player, graduated 2 years ago. She's back, and she was able to join our staff this year. So we're excited to have her. Anytime I can get a former player to come back, even if it's just in an open gym to play, but it's even more special when they come back and get on staff. So I'm excited to watch her grow as a coach, and she's done a good job to this point. And then rounds out with Bella Gaitis. Bella, of course, former player. She can't be there all the time this year because now she got her big girl job. So she's got to do that first priority, but she'll be at our games and any practices she can outside of her work schedule. And the great player she was while she was there. So, girls look up to her. They see her name throughout our locker room on all the award boards and record boards and things of that sort. And so I'm excited to have them on my staff, and that rounds it out. And like I said, and like you just said, I agree with you 100%. It's more than just me. We have success because of the people in the program. I just get the title of head coach, but I've never been big on that, because in order to have success, you need to have a lot of people working hard in and around your program to be successful. So I'm glad you said that, because their truer words couldn't be spoken. And we talk about that in our coach's office too. They need to do their part, and they've done a good job so far. And I expect bigger things in the road ahead.
Let's get Poland fans excited. First game of the year, Coach. When is it? Give the Poland community a shout out when the first time they can come and see the Lady Bulldogs in action.
Well, Monday, November 25th, we open up against Cheney, so I'm excited about that. And our second game is actually at home. It's the following Monday. So we go the Monday before Thanksgiving and the Monday after Thanksgiving. The second game is against Champion at home. So we get 2 chances right out of the gate to come see us. And then we hit the road. We go to Canfield on that Thursday, the 5th, December 5th. So 2 at home, 1 right down the road at Canfield, right out of the gate. So we'll be tested often and early, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
All right, Coach, we want to thank you for your time. We appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck this year. We'll be seeing you a lot down the road, and we can't wait. We know you can't wait, and we'll see you again real soon.
Love having you, Anthony. Thanks for having me.